Hi guys, so recently over on Instagram, I asked all of you if you have ever wanted to start a channel but haven't, what are the reasons or reason? I got a lot of responses to this, and a lot of the responses apply regardless of whether you want to start a similar channel to mine or not. So if you're new to my channel, hi, hello, I talk about books. And a lot of the people who responded have similar interests in books, but their responses, I think, apply no matter what kind of a channel that you're wanting to start. So even if you aren't into books, I think you'll find a lot of these things really, really relatable. A lot of them are also very similar. So one of the biggest ones that I saw were people feeling like they don't have the equipment to start a channel. I completely understand why people think this. I think it's very common to find very encouraging individuals who will say, start a channel no matter what kind of equipment you have, just get yourself out there, get started and get comfortable, and then just go with it. And I think that that is really kind and really considerate. But I think the reason a lot of people feel like they have to have good equipment is because most of the time, with a few exceptions, but most of the time, the people that end up getting bigger channels are the ones with the better equipment. We as people like to look at nice stuff. We like looking at crisp stuff. We, as our society has progressed, have gotten really fantastic technology, and we have gotten kind of used to a certain level of presentation. And when something doesn't quite meet that level and then you find something else that does, you're going to kind of want to gravitate toward that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but that doesn't mean necessarily that you should just not try or do it. If it's something that you really want to give a go, if you really want to make your own channel and you just don't have that fancy of equipment, I use my phone. I use my phone to record, I use my phone to edit, I use my phone to make my thumbnails, and there are a few exceptions to some other things that I'll do every now and then, but I can make basically all of my videos using my phone. If your goal is to make your channel your career, I can understand in that situation maybe waiting until you have better equipment, because then you want to put out the best if this is something that you're going to try to make a job out of. But if you just want to do this as a hobby and you just want to make a channel so you can connect with other people about a shared interest, you don't need the fanciest of equipment. That said, if you want me to make a how-to video on how I make my videos and edit them just using my phone, I would happily do that. You guys should let me know. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. I also found a lot of people gave answers that are somewhat similar, and it is kind of focused on the fear of putting yourself on the internet. So one says the trolls and the hate, the negative criticism just isn't for me. Another person said they're afraid of their real life friends finding out and not being understanding. Another person talked about their anxiety, especially being in front of a camera. Getting in front of the camera and talking is weird. It's very strange. You feel really stupid for a very long time. And you find that the more you do it, the more you'll get used to it, for sure, I think. But the first few times, or maybe the first few months that you're doing it, you're going to find you are likely putting you're presenting yourself differently perhaps than you would in person. And that's okay. Everybody, when they're nervous or doing something unfamiliar to them, they're going to accidentally change a little bit. If you look at my old videos, it sounds as if I went through a second puberty, because my old videos, my voice was super high pitched. A couple things that you can try out is, if you find that you're really uncomfortable talking in front of a camera, I would recommend scripting out what you're going to say, see how you like that, and see if it actually comforts you. You don't have to script out every word, but you can have little note cards or just in general talking points. If that helps you, do it. But if you find that you are speaking so much smoother and more natural when you don't have those things, then stick to that. I think a lot of times people will listen to advice and they'll be like, well, I like that person, I like their videos, and this is what they said they do, so I'm gonna try to replicate it. But we don't all work the same way, so try different things. Try both of these, see if you like a hybrid of it, see if you like one tremendously over the other, and you'll find the more that you do it, the more you're gonna be like, this is what I do, this is my groove, this is what I am comfortable with. I'd also recommend practicing before you actually start a channel. So what you can do is you can just record some videos and you can figure out what lighting do you like, what's the setup that you like, the background, all that kind of extra stuff that'll help you take your mind off the fact that you are having a camera on you. Just think about all the other things. And then practice, make some videos, practice editing those videos. And then when you start to feel pretty comfortable with it, or you find you make a video that you're like, I'm expressing myself in this video the way I want to, and I don't feel bad about putting this on the internet. So I would recommend doing that. I also would recommend, to help take the anxiety down, I think figuring out your process is really helpful. And some people will just turn the camera on and they will talk straight through, and that's really amazing. For me, I find I will ramble so much if I do that. So what I'll do is I will have a thought in mind, then I will push the record button, I'll get that thought out, and then I'll stop recording, and then I'll regroup my thoughts, and then I keep going. That's how I like to do it. I also think it's really nice when I'm editing, if there was a point I made that I thought I presented the point really poorly, or if I found that I just wasn't making any sense or something, then it's really easy to just delete that clip. As for the fear of negativity, just in general online, or you being afraid that people that are, in your real life are gonna find it and then not be supportive, just don't tell those people. And I would add that you can always just have an internet name, and then there's so many people online. Chances are they're not gonna find you. A lot of people in my life, they don't know that I have a channel, and they don't know that I wrote a book. Negativity on the internet and trolls, they're unavoidable. You definitely will get those. And if you are the kind of person that's like, I just don't want that in my life, good for you. I think a lot of times people try to force individuals, or they almost look down at individuals because of their attitude toward not wanting that negativity. They act like you just have to know that you're above it, or like they are just people who are pathetic, like don't let them get to you and stuff like that. And it's like, or just do what you want to do. If you don't want to make a channel because you're afraid that people are going to say weird things to you, gross, inappropriate things, or mean things, good for you. Just don't have it in your life if you don't want it in your life. If having a channel is a huge thing that you really want to pursue and you are just overwhelmed with fear of trolls, it's okay, because then you can bond with other people about trolls. And often me laughing with my husband or me laughing with my friends about how stupid some people on the internet are, that actually is a weird enjoyment. Another thing that quite a few people mentioned is that they are not native English speakers and they're embarrassed about their accents. And this is one that I can't speak for everybody, but me personally, I think accents are awesome. And I would love to hear more people from different places making channels. I think that would be so cool. And if you have an accent and you're afraid somebody's gonna make fun of you for it, and this person, like the concept of somebody saying something slightly different baffles them enough to leave a comment, like, no, they're just dummies. I had another person that say they're a high school teacher and they'd be too embarrassed for their students to see their videos. Is that silly? No, I'm a teacher too. It's why my real name is not on my channel, because I did not want my students to find me. And they haven't. I also saw quite a few people say they don't feel like they have anything to add to the conversation. Some people said they don't think they're creative enough. Some people say, I doubt I have anything unique to offer or say when reviewing books. A lot of comments like this. And to that I would say, it's not really so much about presenting something new. It's more about it being you who says it, because everybody is going to say things slightly differently. They're going to present their ideas slightly different, or sometimes people are really funny. Some people are really intelligent. They come from different backgrounds. They can say why they feel a certain way. And it's not, in my opinion, about being the most unique, because if I watch somebody that has the most unique ideas about books every single time they review a book, I'm going to think they're just trying to think outside the box and find them annoying. So I would say, if anything, being relatable is something a lot of, obviously, people connect to. As far as the not feeling creative enough, because that one I do think is slightly different, I don't know how to say this without sounding super vibey. There are some people that make very similar videos over and over again. And then there are some people that make the most creative videos ever, and those aren't the ones that get watched. So I'm not trying to be like, how dare you all not watch my super creative, interesting videos? But my videos where I compose music and then perform it for you all, I've not found another person who makes like book-inspired music that they perform on their violins. And those are not my most watched videos. And I do those drawing videos where it's a time lapse and character bio, not my most watched videos. I do a book haul or a TBR, those get lots of views pretty much every time. I'm not advocating for you making a channel and then just being as basic as possible in hopes that you're gonna get more views that way or anything like that. I just think if you want to make a channel and you want to kind of start off with a foundation that is safe and comfortable and familiar, that's okay. If you want to start your channel by doing maybe some book reviews, maybe do some TBRs, that doesn't really get old. People still like watching that kind of stuff, and it's a great way to start with something that you've seen a lot, so it's easier for you to kind of figure out how you would do it. And then just from there, if you have a creative idea, then go for it because you feel comfortable enough to give it a try. I think I'm going to actually stop here. There are a lot of other responses, and I think maybe I'll make a part 2 to this video, but that's all I'm gonna say for now. If you guys have any words of encouragement for anybody who shared these particular things, or if you found that you relate to these things and you have something to say or something to add, please feel free to do so. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thank you to those of you who submitted these answers, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.